As the new year dawns, we turn our minds to the video games that are going to be entertaining us over the next 12 months. My name's Colin Campbell, I'm with Polygon. We're looking at the 20 games for 2017 that we fancy. We looked at a list of over 120 console and PC games, and we picked 50 of them for a feature that you can go read on Polygon now. There's the link. And for this video we picked out 20, which represents the diversity of games coming out, from big AAA releases to smaller indie titles. So let's begin. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out in the fall. You'll recall the trailer for Rockstar's new Western, which laid out a tableau of beautiful American wilderness shots, as well as images of cowboys going about their business, and of course a posse on horseback going someplace urgent. This open world adventure tops a lot of folks' list of most anticipated game of 2017, partly because the last game in the series was so darn good. Mass Effect Andromeda is bringing big science fiction storytelling back, with a spring release in the latest in BioWare's space epic series. Players explore the universe, seeking to find a new planet for humans to settle. Different planets offer up their own challenges. As always in this series, gameplay is a mixture of dialogue options, combat, upgrade strategy and exploration. Ubisoft's multiplayer melee game For Honor is a mashup of Vikings with samurai and medieval knights. It looks to be a brutal game of close action combat, making use of 4 classes of fighters. Each one has a different emphasis on speed, power and durability. For Honor is out on PlayStation 4, Windows PC and Xbox One on February 14th. LawBreakers for Windows PC is a slick 5 vs 5 first-person shooter set in a futuristic world where people have near superhuman abilities thanks to low gravity zones. This means plenty of long leaps and anti-gravity tricks. Each character has plenty of different weapons, primaries and alt fires, so there's tons of combat complexity and variety on offer. Injustice 2 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is the sequel to 2013's popular fighting game Injustice: Gods Among Us. It returns us to superhero battles with a roster of new and returning characters including Aquaman, Batman, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Supergirl, Superman and Wonder Woman. NetherRealm's game features interactive environments, combos and metered super moves.
And I will show up.
The drone is up. That's a second target.
Ghost Recon Wildlands is out on March 7th. It's the 10th instalment in the Tom Clancy series, and it's the first to feature an open world environment. Set in Bolivia, players work together to form special ops teams that take out nests of drug cartel villains. The whole third-person shooting campaign is designed to be played cooperatively with missions that rely on teamwork. Okay, it's zombie time. This is State of Decay 2, a sequel to Undead Labs' 2013 third-person zombie survival horror game. This time there's an emphasis on cooperative multiplayer. You may remember a trailer that was shown at E3 that showed 3 characters mowing down zombies in a muscle car before getting out and attacking more zombies with melee weapons and guns. Scalebound is a fantasy action role-playing title from Platinum Games, the team behind the much-loved Bayonetta series. It gives players the chance to take control of dragon-riding warrior Drew, who gives commands to his charge. Played in third person and first person, the dragon can also be customised using one of 3 different classes. It's out on Windows PC and Xbox One. While we're on the subject of big monsters, here's Horizon Zero Dawn, a PlayStation 4 exclusive that's coming out on February 28th. It's developed by Guerrilla Games, best known for the Killzone series of shooters. It's set in a colourful open world populated by dinosaur-like giant robots, which are Huntress protagonist battles.
Good morning, Morgan.
This is Prey, which is scheduled to come out in the second quarter of the year. Morgan Yu fights his or her way through this space station, upgrading combat abilities along the way. There are zero gravity sections and a very high likelihood of gore and frights. Another game that's likely to deliver chills is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Capcom's new title is both a return to form and a departure of sorts. The game is now first person instead of third person, but it's more like a good old-fashioned horror game than a standard action game like we saw in Resident Evil 6 4 or 5 years ago. Persona 5 for PlayStation 4 is already available in Japan and comes to the West in the middle of April. It's the latest in a 20-year-old role-playing game that follows a group of teenagers doing extraordinary things as they travel through dungeons, defeating enemies through turn-based battle mechanics. At the same time, they form bonds with one another and enjoy a full social life in modern Japanese settings. The first Ni no Kuni game did a fantastic job of pulling together animation storytelling genius with tried and tested JRPG battle mechanics. This time it's the story of a boy and his journey to become king. Level 5 boss Akihiro Hino recently said that the new game is a big improvement on the first with, quote, deeper stories. Little Nightmares is a highly fancied stealth and puzzle adventure from Swedish outfit Tarsier Studios. It has a very specific aesthetic and a vibe that would feel right at home in the dark, quirky mind of someone like Tim Burton. It's a sideways perspective escape game featuring a kidnapped girl as she tries to get past some of these exaggerated and grotesque characters. The world is gloomy and fascinating. 2017 will also bring the launch of a new Nintendo console in the form of the Switch. It's been 30 years since the launch of the original masterpiece, The Legend of Zelda. This new game is looking to recreate that Link magic while expanding adventuring into an open, beautiful world of rolling hills and stunning sunsets. Players will be invited to approach the game's dungeons in any order. With this emphasis on exploration and wonder, it's hard to imagine a more fitting game to launch the Nintendo Switch. Talking of old friends, here's Sonic Mania, which was announced in 2016 as part of Sonic the Hedgehog's 25th anniversary celebrations. It's a pixelated side-scroller of a love letter to the Sonic games of old, featuring 3 playable characters, Sonic, Tails and Knuckles. In similar retro mode, this is Sumo Digital's Snake Pass, which we had a look at recently at the big PlayStation Day and enjoyed it very much. Players take on the role of Noodle, who uses his slithery skills to best physical puzzles. Like Fulbright's breakout title, Gone Home, Tacoma is a narrative-driven title built on a foundation of exploration, both of the game's world and of its characters. Writing interesting characters is key to Fulbright's work. There's likely to be a lot of really interesting, quirky games coming out this year from small development teams. This is Gorogoa from solo developer Jason Roberts. It's an inventive puzzle game which features illustrated panels that leads to new worlds. The player explores the world seeking clues and connecting the panels together. Rounding off our selection is What Remains of Edith Finch, which is a PlayStation 4 game coming out in spring. Created by Ian Dallas, he's best known for the superb puzzle story, The Unfinished Swan. What Remains takes the player on multiple journeys through the eyes of various members of a cursed family. It's a witty and good-looking compendium of short stories in which the player takes on the role of different creatures. So that's our 20. You can read the full 50 over on Polygon now. Have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year.